All right, so let's go ahead and dive into our first example of the elimination method. You'll notice that these equations are already stacked so that the x's line up and the y's line up. So step one of this process has already been done for us. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at the coefficients in front of the variables. So looking at x, I see a -3 and a 3. Looking at y, I see a -2 and a 4. So it's the x's that have a match. -3 and 3. They have the same number in front. So those are the variables that I'm going to eliminate. The next thing that I do is I look at the sign in front of them. Same sign, I subtract. Opposite sign, I add. I've got a negative and a positive. That's opposite. So I'm going to add. And we add from left to right, going down each column because like terms are already stacked. -3 and +3 are going to cancel. Those are going to be eliminated. So I don't have to write anything here. The next column, or the y, is -2 plus 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. And then for the constants, -3 plus 15, or 15 minus 3 is 12. Step 4 is to solve this new equation, 2y equals 12 for y. So we divide by the coefficient in front of the y, divide by 2, divide by 2. When we do that on the left, those 2's cancel, and we're left with y equals 6. Our last step is to find the missing variable. I have y, I need x. To do that, we're going to grab that first equation and we're going to substitute in our answer. So our first equation is -3x minus 2y equals -3. And then I have an answer for y, so I'm going to rewrite this equation, leave a placeholder for y, and then make that substitution. I know that y is equal to 6, so I'm going to write a 6 there. My next step, I want to simplify. I know what 2 times 6 is, so I'm going to start copying down. -3x minus, and then 2 times 6 is 12. Equals -3. Now we're ready to start solving for x. Two-step equations, we always have to deal with the constant before the coefficient. So I'm going to undo that subtraction with addition. Plus 12 to both sides. That's going to cancel those 12s, and I'm going to be left with -3x on the left and +9 on the right. And a reminder, I do this mental math really quickly because I've been doing math a long time. If you cannot do that mental math in your head, that's okay. Use a calculator, count on your fingers, write it out on scratch paper, right? That's where you're supposed to be. You're still learning math. Okay, back to our equation here. We need to get x by itself, so we're going to divide by the coefficient in front. Divide both sides by -3. On the left, those 3's cancel, which is good news for us. That's going to leave us with x equals, and then positive divided by negative is negative. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So my final solution in ordered pair form is x comma y, so -3 comma 6. And I want to do a final reminder. I know that sometimes we forget. We can use our computer to check our work. So if you'll give me just a second, I'm going to pull GeoGebra over onto our screen so we can graph those lines and make sure we did this correctly. Okay, so if you look up here, you can see I'm on geogebra.org/calculator. It's a free graphing calculator program. And all I'm going to do is type those two equations. So minus 3x minus 2y equals minus 3. And you can see I have a little green line pop on my screen. And then the next equation is 3x plus 4y equals 15. And I hit enter and I get a blue line. And if I click on that point of intersection, it shows negative 3,6. So we know we did that correctly. I would encourage you to do that at home while you're doing your homework. If you're not sure you're doing it correctly, graph it in GeoGebra or Desmos and check what the graph shows. If you're struggling with doing that math, having that right answer can sometimes help you work backwards or let you know that you made an algebra boo-boo either on that left side with elimination or on the right side with the substitution. Okay, that's it for our first example. I'll see you for example 2.